tumble down, to fall rapidly or decline steeply. Synonym for tumble down, plummet, collapse, drop sharply, fall rapidly, decline steeply, crash down. After the earthquake, several buildings in the city center tumbled down, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Due to a lack of maintenance, the old stone wall began to tumble down, posing a safety hazard to pedestrians. The stock prices tumbled down after the market crash. Slump in, to experience a sudden and significant decline in a specific area. Synonym for slump in, decline sharply, plummet, drop significantly, experience a downturn, take a downturn, see a downturn. The housing market saw a slump in sales as potential buyers became hesitant amid uncertain economic conditions. The housing market slumped in response to economic uncertainty. The stock market experienced a slump in trading activity following the announcement of disappointing economic indicators. Drop off, to decrease or decline, especially in numbers or levels. Synonym for drop off, decrease, decline, dwindle, reduce, diminish, fall away. The attendance at the event dropped off unexpectedly. Sales started to drop off in the winter months as fewer people ventured out to shop. The attendance at the event began to drop off after the initial excitement faded. Dip into, to experience a brief and often minor decline. Synonym for dip into, experience a dip, take a slight decline, suffer a small drop, experience a decrease, have a slight downturn, witness a minor decline. The company's profits dipped into negative territory for the first time in years due to unexpected expenses. The company's profits dipped into negative territory during the recession. Economic indicators suggest that consumer spending may dip into recession territory if the trend continues. Sink into, to gradually decline or submerge into a negative trend. Synonym for sink into, decline into, submerge into, descend into, slide into, plummet into, drop into. Confidence among investors sank into uncertainty amid geopolitical tensions. The housing market sank into a downturn as mortgage rates rose sharply. The company began to sink into financial difficulties. Slide down, to move downward gradually, indicating a decline. Synonym for slide down, descend, slip down, decline, decrease, fall, go down. The company's stock price continued to slide down as investors grew increasingly cautious. Gradually, the country's economy began to slide down, prompting concerns among policymakers. The industry's production levels started to slide down due to increased competition. Plunge into, to experience a sudden and sharp decline. Synonym for plunge into, dive into, plummet into, submerge into, immerse into, descend into, drop into. Consumer confidence plunged into new lows amid fears of a recession. The stock market plunged into chaos following news of the unexpected economic downturn. The company's sales plunged into a downward spiral after the product recall. Fade away. To decline gradually and become less noticeable. Synonym for fade away. Diminish, vanish, disappear, wane, dwindle, dissipate. The popularity of the trend faded away as new preferences emerged. The popularity of the trend gradually faded away as people moved on to new interests. Interest in the product began to fade away as newer and more innovative alternatives entered the market. Wane off. To decrease or diminish gradually over time. Synonym for wane off. Diminish, decrease, decline, subside, ebb, taper off. Interest in the product waned off as newer alternatives became available. Public interest in the charity event began to wane off after several years of declining attendance. The initial excitement over the new technology waned off as users encountered glitches and limitations. Drop out of. To withdraw or decline participation in a particular market or activity. Synonym for drop out of. Withdraw from, pull out of, opt out of, quit, resign from, abandon. Several athletes decided to drop out of the competition due to injuries sustained during training. Many companies dropped out of the project due to financial constraints. Many small businesses have been forced to drop out of the market due to intense competition from larger corporations. Crash down. To experience a sudden and severe decline, often used in financial contexts. Synonym for crash down. Collapse, plummet, tumble down, fall sharply, drop dramatically, come crashing down. The housing market crashed down, leading to widespread foreclosures and economic hardship. The stock market crashed down, causing panic among investors. Stock prices crashed down, wiping out billions of dollars in investments. Cave in. To collapse or give way, indicating a sudden decline. Synonym for cave in. Collapse, give way, crumble, yield, surrender, break down. The company's ambitious expansion plans caved in when funding fell through unexpectedly. The company's market share began to cave in due to poor management. Negotiations between the two parties caved in after weeks of deadlock, leading to the collapse of the peace talks. Nosedive. To plummet or experience a rapid and steep decline. Synonym for nosedive. Plummet, dive, decline rapidly, crash, drop sharply, fall steeply. The airline's reputation nosedived following a series of safety incidents, leading to a significant drop in bookings. The company's profits took a nosedive following the economic downturn. After the scandal broke out, the company's stock price took a nosedive, leaving investors in a state of panic. Fall through the floor. To decline to an extremely low level. Synonym for fall through the floor. Plummet, drop dramatically, hit rock bottom, reach record lows, experience a sharp decline, take a nosedive. Sales fell through the floor during the economic downturn, forcing the company to implement drastic cost-cutting measures. Public confidence in the government's handling of the crisis fell through the floor as unemployment rates soared. After the scandal, the company's reputation fell through the floor. Take a nosedive. Similar to nosedive, indicating a sharp and sudden decline. Synonym for take a nosedive. Plummet, dive, drop sharply, experience a rapid decline, fall steeply, decline dramatically. Consumer spending took a nosedive during the recession, causing widespread concern among policymakers. The housing market took a nosedive as mortgage rates skyrocketed, leaving many homeowners underwater on their mortgages. The tourism industry took a nosedive after the travel restrictions were imposed. Plummet down. To fall or drop rapidly, suggesting a steep decline. Synonym for plummet down. Drop rapidly, fall sharply, decline steeply, tumble down, plummet, nosedive. The value of the currency plummeted down in the global market. The stock market plummeted down in response to the unexpected announcement of new tariffs. Temperatures plummeted down overnight, catching many residents off guard and unprepared. Spiral downward. To experience a continuous and downward trend. Synonym for spiral downward. Decline continuously, descend in a spiral, slide down, plummet, nosedive, drop steadily. Political stability in the region spiraled downward following a series of violent protests and demonstrations. The company's financial health began to spiral downward despite efforts to recover. The company's finances spiraled downward as costs continued to rise while revenues stagnated. Crash out. To exit or decline abruptly and dramatically. Synonym for crash out. Plummet, dive, decline abruptly, drop dramatically, experience a sudden decline, fall sharply. Negotiations between the two parties crashed out, leading to the breakdown of diplomatic relations. Several startups crashed out of the market during the economic downturn. The startup crashed out of the market after failing to secure additional funding, despite initial promise. Dwindle away. To gradually decrease and diminish over time. Synonym for dwindle away. Diminish, decrease, fade away, subside, taper off, ebb. The resources of the organization dwindled away, leading to closure. Support for the unpopular policy proposal dwindled away as public opposition grew stronger. The once bustling town dwindled away into a ghost town as industries moved elsewhere and residents left in search of better opportunities. Cascade down. To fall or flow downward in a cascading manner, indicating a decline. Synonym for cascade down. Descend rapidly, fall in a cascade, tumble down, plummet, drop precipitously, decline swiftly. Heavy rainfall caused mudslides that cascaded down the mountainside, blocking roads and causing property damage. The effects of the economic crisis cascaded down through various sectors, resulting in widespread layoffs and business closures. The effects of the economic crisis cascaded down through various industries. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.